Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to A Dose of Sunshine with Sami Vecchiolla. I am your host, and I'm bringing this to you because I really feel like everyone needs a bit of positivity, and I wanted to show where my positivity came from. So I decided to interview my mom, Helena Rodriguez. Thanks, Mom, for coming.
Hi, everybody.
Feel free to comment below. I'll read out the comments in a little bit. But, Mom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, how are you? I'm Sammy's mom, and that's what I was on the internet when I used to have AOL. So if you ever go AOL, Sammy's mom at AOL, if it still exists, that's me. But I don't think it exists.
We have Julia Moore who's tuning in. Say hi to Julia.
Hi, Julia.
So, Mom, I wanted to give you an opportunity. So, can you tell everyone all of the amazing things that you're up to and where you grew up, and just give us a little introduction to yourself so people can get to know you better?
Okay, well, I really at the moment, I'm not doing too much because I'm quarantined. This is now, I think, the 11th or 12th week. I lost track, but it's since March, in the beginning of March. So I am very healthy at the moment because I don't have any germs coming in, including the other kind of germs besides coronavirus. I haven't had a cold and I find that feel healthier. So I guess all those people out there that come to visit, like Sammy and Alex and all, maybe they should stay away. But anyway, a little bit about me. I grew up in New Jersey, in Passaic, New Jersey. I was one of the third of three children. Uh, my mother was Clara Rano, and she married my father, Adolfo Diaz, and they lived in Cuba until the 1940s when my mother was recruited from Cuba to the United States because it was during World War II, and they needed to have doctors in our country in the United States. So they grabbed my mom from Cuba and brought her over here, and that's how my family ended up here in the United States. My mom started out in I think Long Island, and then she moved to a hospital in Connecticut, and then she moved to a hospital in New Jersey, and that's how I ended up in New Jersey because of my mom's work. My father had a very good job for her because later on, when she was busier as a doctor, she needed to have an accountant, and my father was her accountant. So he had his CPA and all that stuff. Um, let's see, what else should I tell you about?
What are you up to these days as far as in retirement?
Excuse me?
What are you up to in retirement? What are you up to like?
Oh, in retirement. I wasn't expecting retirement time. Basically, what I've been up to in retirement is just enjoying life, um, doing what I feel like doing when I wake up, which I never know what it's going to be. So lately, I've been excited because I have Parkinson's, and they're doing a lot of different research studies for Parkinson's. And one of the research studies is to see the perception Parkinson's people with Parkinson's perception, and they're using art therapy as a way of improving the perception in people with Parkinson's. So I've been in this group for art therapy from the University of New York University, and I did some artwork. I'm looking at it around me because I have a few artworks, but I wasn't prepared for that part. But I guess I could grab it up, but maybe later. Um, and the and it's going to start up again next week. So I'm very excited because we're going to be doing it remotely. While before I was traveling down to the city 2 hours to be there 2 hours and then come back home in 2 hours. So it was taking 6 hours of my day, which isn't a problem when you're retired, but it does get you tired when you go by the time the end of the day comes and you're pooped because all you've been doing is traveling 4 hours to get go and come home and get from one end to the other and then back again. But
Your
I
artwork is
enjoyed it a lot.
amazing. We had they let you use all different types of art materials, and you
Yes.
had amazing projects. I had the pleasure of going to your art show, and it was super cool to have my mom be displayed at NYU with her artwork, which is awesome.
Yes, I enjoyed it too. It was like, to me, it was like, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. What? I'm an artist. And then I saw my stuff on the wall. Oh my God, I'm an artist. So it was fun. It was exciting to have the gallery just for us, people with Parkinson's in our artwork.
And it was a really nice reception too. Daddy and I had a great time enjoying all the refreshments and listening
Yeah,
to
they were
this.
very good. Yeah, they're very generous, those people.
Very generous. I know they just sent you a package of amazing art materials that you sent.
Yes, all sorts of stuff. Pastels, watercolor, acrylic paints, brushes, paper, uh, sculpture stuff, a lot of things.
You're getting a lot of people commenting saying good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
So last week I had Jean McCarthy on and she was singing these nursery rhymes. So please do me a favor and do not start singing. But
I know I have my jukebox going all the time.
my mom used to sing the song, "Oh, what a beautiful morning."
I was just
Every
singing it.
single morning.
I was just singing it. You want me to sing it?
No, no. You're my mom. I can tell you no. But okay, so let's I want to go into asking you a little bit more about my childhood and my upbringing, because you have done such a great job, I would say. Please, Alex, don't comment that.
Alex is there?
Alex is watching.
Oh, Alex, don't comment because I have some embarrassing pictures of you.
So he says, "Hey, I know that lady." He commented. So, oh boy, there's Alex, the king birthday. So what would you like to share about my childhood?
What would I like to share about your childhood? Well, you were a very interesting child. You were opposite of your brother, although you both look very similar, especially that was one of my first comments when you were born, is I looked at you and I said, oh, she looks like Alex. And then I fell back to sleep. But yeah, you were very similar in looks. Sometimes I looked at a picture today and I was like, who is this guy? Oh, I don't know. But you were an interesting character. Probably the one thing that I have to say about you is you're very good with communication. You were able to speak sooner than most children, and your first sentence was, "I want to go outside."
Which I do now too.
Yes, you always want to go outside, and then you want to go travel outside somewhere. So
I know.
yeah, you're always wanting to go outside. So here's a picture of you going outside,
Oh,
and that's me.
so
Notice my
cute.
hair; it's like so big and fluffy and
I
a
know,
lot of
and
curls.
glasses.
Now I know why you got curly hair.
Yep. See the curls. I've been curly during quarantine, so you don't see my roots because I need my hair done so bad. So quarantine trick, curly your hair, and you don't see your roots as bad.
Except when you're gray.
Yep. Look at my mother. So what were the funniest, scariest, and proudest moments of being my mom?
Well, the scariest, I'm going to go with the scariest. There are two scary moments in my life with you. There were more than two, but there are two scariest ones. The first scariest one was when you were maybe about 18 months. You were a little teeny weeny thing. And you decided that you wanted to climb on and go on a slide. Now there are two slides. There's a very high slide that's like maybe 20 feet or more. And then there's a small slide, which I thought we were going to. You didn't go to the small slide. You went to the big slide because you saw your brother going there too. So you followed your brother and you started to climb. And by the time I noticed, because I was talking with my friend, Debbie was with me at the time, and I look, and I see you going on that slide, and I said, oh shoot. So I was scared because I didn't want to run to the slide because I was afraid that if I ran to the slide, you would get scared and you might fall down. And I didn't want you to fall down because that was a really high slide. It was the old fashioned ones when you didn't have like things to save you on the bottom like they do now.
Yeah, the good old days.
The good old, the good old days when you could go outside and play. But anyway, you went on the slide and I was very afraid to move because I didn't want to scare you, but you were scaring me. And I didn't want to make you think that you should be scared by looking at me being scared. So I had to pretend not to be scared, even though I was like freaking out inside. Finally, you came down the slide and I went, ah, did such a great job. Holy shit, if you do that, then I'll kill you. So that was one of the scariest moments. I thought for sure you were going to fall down because when you're a mother, you think of the worst that could possibly happen. And that was what the worst would happen if that happened to you, which I didn't like. So that was one of the scary moments. Another scary moment is I used to go take you guys to the pool and places, but my favorite place to take you to, which this was the last trip there, was to the lake that they have in, I forgot the name of the lake, Silver Lake or something like that.
Sparkle?
Sparkle Lake. I knew it had something to do with silver. That's why you remember, because you're sparkling. Anyway, we went to Sparkle Lake and I liked it because they had different levels of water. So you could be in the shallow end and your brother could be in the deeper end, but not too deep because he wasn't that big then either. And sure enough, I was sitting there watching him and then taking my eyes off of you and watching you, taking my eyes off of him. But one of the times I was switching eyeballs to the different kids, I noticed that I didn't find you. I didn't see you. I didn't see you in the shallow water. I didn't see you anywhere. And I started looking. Is she there? Is she there? Oh my God. Oh my God, where the hell is she? I looked behind me. I looked all over and I couldn't find you. So when I was ready to scream out, lifeguard, help! Poof, you pop up and you went, oh, I did it. I did it. So you were right in front of me. That's probably where it was. I didn't find you because you were right in front of me. And I said, what did you do? You go, I put my head underwater. And I'm thinking, you do that again, I'll kill you. But that was my second scary moment. Well, it wasn't the second, but it was the second one I'm telling you about.
So there's some that you're holding back?
Oh, I'm sure, but I don't remember at the moment.
That's so funny. I'm still very determined to this day, but I don't like my hair getting wet either. So.
And it's then the other story I wanted to tell you about was one time in the middle of the night, I hear screaming, help, help, and what the hell? So I get out of my bed and I walk over to the room where you and Alec, because you shared a room back then. I went looking for you guys, because you were yelling help. And then you say, get me out of here. You were in your crib and you didn't want to be in the crib anymore. You wanted to get out of there. So, and it was, of course, 2 or 3 in the morning, and I probably had to go to work the next day. So sure enough, I got you out of the crib. And then from that moment on, I thought about, I think Sammy's going to get a regular bed now so you could climb out yourself, which probably wasn't a good idea because you climb out of bed and you come to my bed. And one time I was sleeping and I opened up my eyes and I see these eyeballs looking at me. And I went back and it was you.
I still remember you giving me those. She had these elephants. I don't even know what they were. They were like with a weird handle on them. And you used to give them to me and like, this has magic powers.
Oh, yes. Those are actually napkin holders.
Why were they in your nightstand?
Because I wanted to give you something to make you go away. Because you always wanted to come to the bed and say, I'm scared. And you wanted to climb into bed with your father and me. And that was not a good idea. That's why there's only 2 of you and not 3.
Oh God. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. What major value did you want to make sure that you instilled in me as a child?
The major value that I want to instill in both of you, so if Alex is still on, he can hear this too. What I wanted to instill in both of you is that you should help other people. So, and I think I did it. I think now you do it. And what I used to do is I'd get you involved in things like, I got you involved in making a box of toiletries, or maybe a couple of boxes of toiletries for people who lived in the homeless shelter that was up the hill from us. Where Lowe's is, there used to be a homeless shelter there. And every Christmas or so, I think it was Christmas, I'd have you guys make a box of toiletries and we'd take it up to the homeless shelter for the people who lived there.
Wow.
That was one of the things. And the other things, we did a lot of food drives at the AMP.
I remember those.
Yeah. So
I remember those from Girl Scouts.
Yeah, well, it started before Girl Scouts.
So I think you achieved that. Tina
Yeah,
says, "Oh my God, Sammy is incredibly helpful." So
I know. Now, one of the things I should have taught her is how to say no. But it's hard to teach somebody how to say no when you don't say no yourself.
I hate that word to this
I
day.
know. I had to figure out ways to say no without saying no.
It's so funny. I hate the word maybe too, because I feel like everyone
Well,
should be decisive. But I feel
well,
like
that's why I started using maybe, because I didn't want to say no.
so you trained me to think that maybe was also no. So because you would
It
never say
probably
no. You would
was.
say, well,
It probably
maybe.
was no.
Or you would make me decide, well, what do you think when I wanted a sleepover
Exactly.
during the week?
Exactly. I would explain, well, what about this and what about that? And then you started coming up with your own reason why it should be no.
Yeah, your trickery, you mother. So another question that I have for you is looking back on almost 30 years, would you change anything?
I would not change a thing. The reason I wouldn't change a thing is because I like you and your brother the way you are. And if I changed anything, then something in you would change as well. And I don't want to change anything because I wouldn't have wanted to change anything because then you wouldn't be the way you are now, which I think is wonderful as it is.
Oh,
And if there's things that aren't good, then whoever you're with can bother changing you, like Michael,
you won't change me.
maybe Tina.
Maybe Tina. Does anyone have any comments that they want to ask my mom? Any questions below? Let me check the comments to see if anyone had anything. So we have a lot of people watching actually. Gail Davis says hi from Toastmasters.
Oh, cool. Hi, Gail.
Miguel Sampaio was watching. Andre Garrity is watching. Alex, of course, is watching. Lisa Ferry says, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Kathleen Troy says, hi, Helena Rod. And Lauren says, hello, gorgeous ladies. Oh, Alex said he was leaving when you put the photo up of him. I wonder if he's still watching.
Well, here's a picture in case he comes back. That's you and him.
Lower the picture a little. There you go. Oh my God, I look like a weird alien.
You are a weird alien. You came out of somebody's body.
I remember that couch. That was like a hideous couch. Oof.
Well, it used to be a different couch, and then your dad upholstered it.
So can you tell everyone about all the other babies that you have in the house right now? Because I heard them crying at the door.
Well, I have two babies. One is behind me over here. That's Peyton. He's my big baby. And then I have a little baby she's sort of like my coronavirus baby because we got her just as the quarantine was starting. And her name is Maggie. Her real name is La Reina Margarita de la Corona.
Of course, it's a traditional Spanish long name, like crazy long.
Yes.
So we do have some questions. Are you ready? So Alex, my brother, says, which one of us is your favorite? It's okay, Mom. You can lie for the video.
Okay, well, if you watch Como talking about him and his brother, the older Como is always saying that Mom always liked me best and that he was the favorite son. So I really couldn't tell you which one I like more because I'm very diplomatic, but I'll show you who I like more. Ready? And the one I like more is...
Oh, that's your favorite photo, right?
Yeah, because you were looking at your brother nicely. Oh, my big brother. And he was
why else
happy.
do you like that photo? Because you used to yell at us all the time. I like this photo because that.
Oh, because you're where you're sitting. I didn't realize I had that picture. You guys are sitting on the laundry basket, and it is a symbol of my work because I had so much laundry to do when you guys were together. But I liked you guys together, and here's one of the togethernesses, the more recent from 2007.
Oh, that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2007.
Oh my God. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So Kathleen Troy says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how naughty was Sammy?
Sammy really wasn't that naughty. So I would say, I don't even think I have to go higher than 7 because 1 to 7 or 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
All right, so I would say maybe you have to make some parts of it naughty. So I would say 85. 80, not 85% naughty, 85% nice.
Was there anything I did bad? I don't even remember.
Anything what?
Did I do anything bad as a kid? I don't even remember.
Not really. That's why I gave you 85. Whatever you did that was bad, I forgot it.
Alex says no. I think, so both Alex and I were thinking that when you were going to pull up your favorite child, you were going to pull up a picture of one of the dogs.
Actually, I didn't have him here. That would have been a good one. Oh,
Well,
here.
That's the favorite. He's the baby. So Amber Joe says, ask your mom if she has any advice for me as a soon-to-be mommy.
Oh my God, Amber Joe, you're gonna be a mommy?
Yeah.
Holy moly! I almost said it's a bad word. Well, I would say, as a new mommy, enjoy it. Enjoy your pregnancy the way it is now, because you'll never get this moment again. Because when you have the second child, you're gonna have to worry about the first child being jealous before the second child even gets here. For example, your belly starts taking a lot of space. And if you have your second child, you can't put the first child on your what do you call it, lap. Like you would have done with the first child. Because the first child, you don't have to worry about putting anybody on your lap. So enjoy that, because as soon as you have the second baby, you have to worry about jealousies. But the first baby is really interesting because you don't know the bad word, the S about what to do. You look at their poop and you don't know why is this color? Yuck. And there's a lot of weird stuff.
Ooh, good luck.
I have to tell you, one of the things I remember about my new motherhood, I was a mother like maybe a day or two, and I had to be in the hospital for Alex. Alex had to be in the hospital longer than I did because he had jaundice, because our bloods weren't compatible. So he was in the hospital a little bit longer, and then I came home, and I brought him home, and that night I had a nightmare that I was changing his diaper, and there was a soap on the top of where I changed his diaper that fell down and went right into his mouth. And I was calling the emergency hotline for poison control, and they thought that I was neglecting him. So some people came and took him away, and
What a horrible nightmare.
all these things happened. So that first night was a nightmare because I was like so worried about taking care of him that I would do something wrong, and that was actually my entrance to being a mother. You're always worried about doing something wrong, or saying something wrong, or just whatever, because it's a new thing for you. Don't believe anything you read or write or what people tell you. You're gonna have to figure out yourself, because each child is different, and you learn how to take care of them as they get older. So what do you do?
She's doing November.
November 22nd?
Boy.
It's a boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's so exciting. All right, so we have some more questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
So Lisa Ferry asked, was Sami always very competitive?
I don't know how to answer that. She was competitive with herself. She was constantly like trying to be better than she was the day before. For example, that time with the water where she came up and said, I did it. Because she would try to test herself and what she could do. So competitive is really more for her, competitive with herself. And then she was competitive, if she's competitive with others, it's really herself that she's competitive with. But people take it as it's that she's competitive with them. But it's really
Unless we're playing cards with Dad, then it all is different.
Yeah.
Daddy's competitive. That's where I get it from. I get the competitiveness from Daddy, I think.
Probably, but I think it's really your competitiveness is you're competitive with yourself.
Yeah, Lisa says self-motivated.
Very self-motivated. A little bit too much.
I guess that could be the case. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any other
stress?
Can I have the chimichurri recipe? No.
It depends. If you're married to one of my children, yes. But if you do not, sorry.
That was Tina Campbell. She asked.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you might be an exception to the rule. You have to ask Andy.
I'm
Well,
sure
she's part of the family.
Daddy would give it away to her. She's like, she's his sous chef from the barbecues.
That's true.
And she goes, love this with your mama. I love my mama, so I had to bring her on. I figured it was a great way for everyone to get to know me by getting to know where I came from. And a lot of my people know my mom, but I thought this was an awesome way to introduce her to more people. So Mom, how can people connect with you if they wanted to learn more about what you're doing with Parkinson's or artwork or anything?
Well, you could always Facebook me a message or message me with a Facebook, whatever the way you should say it is.
Yes.
Or you can send me an email at hrodrigue2@gmail.com, but it's better just go to Facebook and then eventually we'll get to the other part. I do have a Twitter handle, but I don't go to Twitter, so don't bother sending it. And I do have a, what do you call that thing? The one? Instagram, and I don't do that either. So you won't get any messages from me if you send it that way, but you will if you do either the old-fashioned Facebook or the even more old-fashioned email. There's also my text message too.
Lauren actually has a last-minute question.
All right, what is it?
Lauren says, Helena, do you see qualities of yourself in Sami?
Qualities of myself and Sami. Not really. No, I'm not saying it negatively. I'm saying it positively. I guess that I come to think of it, the competitiveness that you have with yourself, I guess it's the competitive I have with myself, because I don't see myself as, like, I see you and I see you better than me, and I see Alex and I see Alex better than me too. So don't get jealous, Alex. And so therefore I don't see things that are in me that are in you. But some other people can, because they're seeing it from a different point of view. My point of view is too close, so I can't see it. But if other people can see whatever it is because they're farther away from the issue, which is us. I have a picture of us together.
You do? Oh my God, I've never seen that photo.
I know, I tried to pick photos that I know you didn't see. And the reason you never saw these, if you see you have a baby there too. So you have a baby, I have a baby, and we're nurturing our babies.
Is that jeans?
No, this came from, I don't know where it was, because I don't recognize the rug. I mean,
the couch.
The couch. I don't recognize where we are at all. But, maybe it was my brother's house. Anyway, the reason you haven't seen it is because they were in my sister's box of stuff.
Oh.
So these are pictures that she had. And here's a picture that, your real estate stuff. You showed everybody the outside of your house. You remember?
Oh,
your
playhouse?
Your playhouse, yeah. We call it your house. This is the inside.
I love that photo. For those of you who don't know how spoiled I am, my father built a life-size playhouse for me to play in. And we had one deep unit, and then it became a storage shed.
He had more than a year in it.
And there's like a front garden. It's like really beautiful. All right, Mom. So I don't want to take up any of your time. I know you're very busy. But thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I appreciate everything that you shared. I love you.
I hope we brought some sunshine into people's life today.
Yes, just a little dose. That's all that everyone needs. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.